Picture this, a man of mystery, a man of many talents, and a man with a goldfish. Enter John Wick, not your typical action hero. This John Wick isn't a hardened hitman with a vendetta. Oh no, he's something far more unexpected. He's a goldfish enthusiast. Now you might be thinking, a goldfish enthusiast? That's a bit fishy. And you'd be right. But this isn't just any goldfish, this is Mr. Bubbles, the most charismatic, most radiant, and most charming goldfish you could ever meet. This little aquatic wonder has captured the heart of our man Wick, who loves him more than anything in the world. John Wick, the man of mystery, has built a state-of-the-art aquarium for his little friend. We're talking about an underwater utopia, folks. It's got the works, little castles, a treasure chest, and even a tiny fish-sized treadmill. Because even goldfish need to stay in shape, right? But one day, the unthinkable happens. Tragedy strikes in the form of a floating goldfish. Yes, our beloved Mr. Bubbles is found floating upside down. Now we all know the saying, there's plenty of fish in the sea, but for John Wick, there was only one Mr. Bubbles. Imagine the scene. John Wick coming home after a long day of designing fish treadmills, only to find his aquatic amigo belly up. The horror, the agony, the unexpected tragedy. I mean, who kills a goldfish? It's practically unheard of. This isn't a dog we're talking about here. This is a goldfish, people. A goldfish. And that's when John Wick, the goldfish lover, became John Wick, the goldfish avenger. So hold on to your seats, folks, because things are about to get fishy. And remember, in the world of John Wick, it's not about the size of the pet that matters, it's about the size of the revenge. Armed with a net and a bag of fish food, John Wick sets off on an investigation. John Wick, the man who could take down a room full of armed goons with a pencil, is now on the trail of a goldfish killer. Yes, you heard it right, a goldfish killer. In his quest for justice, he's swapped his usual arsenal for some unconventional tools. Instead of his trusty Glock, he's got a net. Instead of bullets, he's packing fish food. And instead of fear, he's instilling confusion. It's not every day that you see an international hitman interrogating pet shop owners. "Have you seen this fish?" he asks, holding up a sketch of his dearly departed goldfish. The pet shop owners can't help but scratch their heads, wondering if they've suddenly been transported to a parallel universe where goldfish are as important as diamonds. And it doesn't stop there. John Wick, master of stealth and strategy, is now tailing aquarium cleaners. Yes, the same John Wick who could sneak into enemy compounds without making a sound, is now lurking behind fish tanks and peering into murky waters. He's watching, waiting, and making sure no fishy business goes unnoticed. But perhaps the most ridiculous part of it all is his choice of bait. Yes, you guessed it, fish food. There he is, the boogeyman of the underworld, sitting on park benches and scattering fish food, hoping to lure in the culprit. It's a sight that would make even the most hardened criminals chuckle. This is not the John Wick we know, but it's the John Wick we need. A man relentless in his pursuit, unyielding in his determination. He might have traded bullets for fish food, but his resolve remains as solid as steel. But no stone or pebble remains unturned in his quest for justice, because when it comes to John Wick, even a goldfish killer should be scared. Very scared. So goldfish killers out there, beware. John Wick's coming for you, and he's armed with a net and a bag of fish food. In a twist that no one, especially John, saw coming, the killer was right under his nose. Yes, you heard it right, folks. The fish assassin was swimming about in the same tank, acting all innocent. The audacity. Now you may be thinking, a fish? A killer? That's ridiculous. And you're right, it is ridiculous. But let me tell you, fish society is a lot more complex than you might believe. You see, in the grand fish tank of life, there are kings and there are peasants. There's drama, intrigue, and yes, even a little bit of murder. So, who was this cold-blooded, or should I say cold-finned, killer? Well, it was none other than the betta fish, the quiet one in the corner of the tank. You know the type. The one who doesn't mingle much, always watching from the shadows, waiting for its moment to strike. It turns out the goldfish had been hogging the limelight for too long, and the betta fish, well, it had had enough. I mean, can you blame it? Day in, day out, it's always, oh, look at the goldfish, isn't it pretty? Oh, the goldfish is so shiny! Never a single, oh, the betta fish is looking dashing today. It's enough to drive any fish to the brink. So it did what any self-respecting, attention-seeking fish would do. It planned the perfect crime. We're not talking a random act of fish violence here, oh no. This was a calculated move, a well-orchestrated plan. Dare I say premeditated fishicide. Now I'm not saying it's right, it's a tragedy of course, but let's be honest, it's also a little bit hilarious. I mean, who would have thought? A fishy whodunit right in our own living rooms. Truly, you just never know what's lurking beneath the surface. And so it was the betta fish, the quiet one in the corner of the tank, who was the culprit all along. Now it's time for the ultimate face-off, or should we say, fin-off. Our hero, John Wick, is on a mission to exact revenge on the betta fish. But how do you intimidate a creature that spends its days swimming in circles? Well, John has a few ideas up his sleeve. First, he tries the isolation technique. He moves the betta to a separate tank, leaving it alone with nothing but its own reflection for company. But little does John know, betta fish are rather fond of their own reflections, so instead of feeling punished, the betta seems to be enjoying its own company. Our hero quickly realizes this and decides to switch tactics. Now it's time for Plan B, scare tactics. John introduces a new toy into the betta's tank, a plastic shark. He's hoping to strike the fear of the ocean's top predator into the heart of the betta, but the betta, unimpressed, just swims around the toy, occasionally giving it a curious nudge. The shark, instead of being a terrifying figure, has become a new plaything for the betta. Once again, John's plan has backfired. Undeterred, John moves to Plan C. He starts playing intense action movie soundtracks near the fish tank, hoping to create an atmosphere of suspense and danger. But the betta, seemingly oblivious to the dramatic tunes, continues its leisurely swim around the tank. It's clear that this fish is not easily scared. John is at his wit's end. All his plans to scare or isolate the betta have failed miserably. He's been outsmarted, outmaneuvered, and outplayed by a fish that murdered his beloved goldfish. In the end, John realizes the futility of his actions. He's been trying to exact revenge on a creature that simply doesn't understand the concept. He sighs, looks at the betta fish one more time, and mutters to himself, "After all, it's a fish-eat-fish world out there." But every cloud has a silver lining, or in this case, a golden one. Picture this, the dust has settled, and John Wick, our hero, stands tall, having avenged the untimely demise of his dearly departed goldfish. But what's this? A glint in his eye suggests that the story isn't over just yet. John Wick, the man who single-handedly toppled an empire for a goldfish, decides to honor the memory of his beloved aquatic companion in a truly unique way. He's opening a sanctuary, but not for dogs or cats or even bunnies. No, this is a sanctuary for the most overlooked of household pets, the humble goldfish. He sets out on this mission, not with guns blazing, but with a net and a bucket. It's a wild ride, filled with daring fish rescues, heartwarming moments of fishy bonding, and maybe, just maybe, a few instances of John Wick using his unique set of skills to teach a few naughty fish some manners. This isn't just any sanctuary, oh no, it's a haven for the abandoned, the misbehaved, the misunderstood fish of the world. John Wick, once a harbinger of death, is now a beacon of hope for goldfish everywhere. It's a humorous end to a tragic tale, a twist no one saw coming. But perhaps that's the beauty of it. In a world that can sometimes seem as cold and ruthless as the underwater kingdom of a goldfish, it's the unexpected acts of kindness that truly make a difference. And who better to lead this charge than John Wick, a man who knows all too well the value of a single life, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. So remember, the next time you see a goldfish, think of John Wick. Think of his journey from vengeance to redemption, from heartbreak to hope. And if you enjoyed this hilarious twist on his story, please subscribe and hit the like button. Let's make sure no goldfish ever meets the same fate.